If your role in production entails direct communication with the client via email, here are some key things to keep in mind, particularly across 6 categories. First, the title of the email, then the body of the email, who the email is going to or distribution, tidiness and appearance of an email etiquette, and email follow-up. For email titles, always include your show code or shorthand title of your show and what exactly you are referring to, whether it be a given shot, episode, asset, and so on. If your client or studio has established email title naming practices or a template, follow those. For the email itself or the body of the email, be sure to reiterate what you are referring to or asking for, including the episode, shot or sequence, the assets, and so on. When emailing the client, we want it to be as convenient and clear for them as possible. They shouldn't have to guess or do any legwork on their end in just reading your email. Ensure the path of action is clear for your client. For example, is this a delivery for which you expect feedback? If so, specify a deadline in full. Don't just say this Thursday, write out Thursday, September 19th. If you don't expect feedback, specify the purpose of your email. For example, are you attaching reference in preparation for a call or launch? Remember to include any attachments, reference, links, etc. as necessary, and do so via the method preferred by your client. For example, a lot of studios don't like to send screenshots via email for security reasons, preferring instead to use another delivery portal. Distribution on an email is an important thing to pay attention to as we deal with internal and external emails all day. And we also need to be cautious, per our NDAs, who we are sharing information with. Oftentimes, email groups or aliases may contain a lot of people, potentially even a combination of clients or executives at your own studio. Be sure you are clear on who your emails are going to when you type in an email alias. Also ensure you are addressing the right person or persons when you start to write an email. If you're unsure, check with your fellow production team members. If you're doing a delivery email, it is okay to say, "Hi everyone," or "Hi, client studio name." You want to make sure your email looks professional and tidy. It is going to the client after all. Unless your studio or client has specified otherwise, your email should be sent in black text with uniform font and font size. Also remember to check when you are sending an email, as some studios are strict about client communication hours, and your client may be in another time zone. Your email might be disturbing them. Another thing to keep in mind is that we often get help from our superiors in crafting an email to the client. Your production manager or producer might even help you write a sentence or two. If you are able to copy and paste your boss's edits, ensure you are pasting as plain text, otherwise when you send it, it will appear in that dark purple color that suggests the text was obviously copied, which doesn't look tidy. For email etiquette, a lot has to do with timing. Generally, studios prefer you to respond to a client email quickly, even if it's a simple, "We're looking into this," or "Received, we'll get back to you ASAP." We want our clients to understand that their communication has been received and that we, the service studio, are prioritizing whatever their query, request, or concern is. When it comes to email etiquette, remember that you can absolutely ask your superior, be it your PM, associate producer, or line producer, to double check your work if you are unsure about tone or priorities. Ensure that if you are asking your boss to proofread an email, that you have all of your facts in place. For example, the deadline, the significance of a given shot or asset, what your email is in response to, and so on. Your boss needs this context to help their review of your email be efficient and effective. The last thing with client emails is a follow-up or to close the loop on a given email to confirm the next step or action. This is both a practical move and a classic production cover your butt move. Email follow-up can be very simple, and often the most you need to do is relay, in a full sentence, what the conclusion of a given discussion was. For example, "Hi everyone, to close with this thread, we confirm that as discussed in our call today, Monday, September 16th, we will submit a second version of X test shot by the end of this week." Remember, in production, we always need to cover our butts and ensure that the path ahead is clear for anyone who may be reading an email at any point in time. Additionally, our inboxes should never be the final storage spot for an action item or review. Ensure that information is also appropriately tracked into ShotGrid or Flow and the network and or shared drive.